everyone, and good day to you all. So today we shall continue on classification of vessels with a little uh, review on Kingdom Animalia, which is the last kingdom among all the 5 kingdoms. We started the Kingdom Animalia the last lecture, and we have I can remember I said that the Kingdom Animalia is divided into 2 sub-phyla, Vertebrata and Invertebrata. We look at the Invertebrata. The Invertebrata are animals, without cerebral column. That is, animals without backbones, while Vertebrata are animals with backbone. We run through the ones under subphylum Invertebrata. So under Invertebrata, we have porifera, which are generally the sponges, Cnidaria, which are examples like jellyfish, sea animals, corals, hydra, then platyrmines, which are generally referred to as flatworms, and examples include planarias, flukes, tapeworms. Then nematoda, which are usually round. They are roundworms. They are usually round in nature or cylindrical, and they could be bilateral. Examples include the hookworms and the roundworms generally. We have Annelida. The body of Annelida are divided into subsections called segments, and that is why they are referred to as being segmented. They are also cylindrical in shape. Examples include the earthworms and leeches. Then we have mollusca. Mollusca are generally animals with shell. In their own case, they are not segmented. That is, the body is not divided into small portions. So examples include snails, sludges, then oysters. Then we have arthropoda. Arthropoda they include crustacea, insecta, arachnida, myriapoda. Then we have echinodermata. Echinodermata, they are radially symmetrical. They are slow moving and they possess 2 feet. That is, they are slow moving. That is, they move very slow. When we talk about back to arthropoda, examples of crustacea include, like I mentioned the other time, your prawn, your crayfish. Examples of insecta include things like cockroach, like butterfly, and example of arachnida include spider. Myriapoda are millipedes and centipedes. Now, let's look at vertebrata briefly. Vertebrata, they are also referred to as phylum Chordata. They are animals with notochord. Notochord is a dorsal hollow that is usually found or that becomes the vertebrae and the spinal cord. And generally, they are being referred to as vertebrata, are being referred to as animals with a backbone. They are bilaterally symmetrical. When we say that they are bilaterally symmetrical, that is when they are opened, they can be opened vertically down at a plane, and the 2 equal halves will possess the same structure. They have endoskeleton, that is, the skeleton are found within the animals. Their central nervous system, that is the CNS, and the spinal cord, they are well developed. The first group of the subphylum Vertebrata is Pisces. Pisces are generally referred to as fish or fishes. They are found in water, that is, they are aquatic. Then they are divided into 2. cartilaginous, we have those ones that are referred to as cartilaginous fish, and we have those ones that are referred to as bony fish. Example of cartilaginous fish is shark, while an example of bony fish is tilapia. Cartilaginous fish, they are the type of fish that have hard structures, but the hard structures, they are not very hard. They are neither hard nor soft. These structures, like they are like the ones you find on your ears or your nose. You can see that they are hard, but they are not as hard. But when you talk about bony fish they contain hard materials. These hard materials are referred to as bones. So you have examples of this being found in fish such as tilapia. Then they are poikilothermic. When you say poikilothermic, that is they have a fixed temperature. Their temperature does not depend on the environment. The temperature depends on the environment. Sorry, poikilothermic, that means their temperature is not constant. It depends on the temperature of the environment. So if the temperature of the environment is low, the temperature of their body will equally be low. If the temperature of the environment is high, there's possibility that the temperature of their body too will be high. Pisces, they possess scales as well as fins. Now we have the amphibia. The amphibia, they have a dual life. They can be found inside water and on land. That is, they live between water, between aquatic and terrestrial habitat. That means that they can survive in water as well survive on land. They evolve from the lobed finned fishes. That is, it is believed in the principles of evolution that they evolved from the Pisces, and that is why we say that they are the forelimb, that is the wings, the pectoral wings have been modified to form forelimbs. So they have forelimbs and the hind limbs. The pectoral fin modified to form a forelimb, while the perfect fin modified to form the hind limbs in amphibia. And they are also poikilothermic, that is, the temperature of their body depends solely on the temperature of the environment. The skin is usually moist. They have moist skin, and the tongue, their tongues, amphibians, their tongues are usually sticky. That is what anytime they see food, they stuck out the tongue to use it to catch prey. The prey will stick to these tongues, and that's how they will draw it into their mouths. The body of amphibians are divided into head and trunk. Commonest examples around us are toad and frogs. Now we have reptilia. Reptilia is another group. Reptilia, they are the first group of animals to be able to survive, to live completely on land. That is, first to have complete land existence. That is, they survive completely on land without having to go back inside water at certain stage of their or certain stages of their lives. They are covered with scales. The reptilia are covered with horny scales. Then they are poikilothermic, that is, the temperature of their body depends on the temperature of the environment. They possess a four-chambered heart, that is, the heart is divided into four chambers, and the body is divided into the head, the neck, the trunk, and the tail. In their own case also, they have the hind leg and the forelimbs. Then the next phylum is apes. Apes are generally referred to as animals with feathers. They possess feathers. They are, in this case, these ones are homeothermic, that is, the temperature of their body is constant. The temperature does not depend on the temperature of the environment. The temperature of the body of apes is usually constant. The body is divided into head, trunk, and head, neck, and trunk. In this case, in the hills, the forelimbs have been modified to form wings, so that they will be able to use the wings for flying. The jaws are modified to form a peak. That's their mouth. That thing that you see on top and below the mouth are usually referred to as peaks. And they have a four-chambered heart. That is, the heart is developed into four different chambers. So if you look at this, the modification of four limbs to form four wings, for example, is a way to make the body to be lighter, so that they will easily float in the air, and flying will be easier for this group of animals. Following the apes are the mammalia. Mammalia are the general ones that are referred to as mammals. They have definite temperature, that is, their temperature is constant, and that is why they are being referred to as being obligatory. They are also covered with skin, and they have different types of teeth. That is why they will say that their type of teeth is referred to as they have different types of teeth is referred to as heterodonts. That is, the teeth have different shapes and different structures, and that's why they are made for different functions. We have the body being divided into the upper part, which is referred to as the thoracic region, and the lower part, which is referred to as the abdominal cavity. The thoracic region, that is the thoracic part, and the abdominal part are divided by what we refer to as the diaphragm. Now, looking at all this, the different subphylum and the phyla of that you have under vertebrata, it will be discovered that man is unique, despite the fact that man has a certain shapes or structures, features, and some other animals. Man actually belongs to the phylum Mammalia, but man is unique, and that is why we say that when we look at uniqueness of man, man is a primate, just like we have few other animals. But man is unique, different from other primates. For example, man uses his thumb and forefinger to hold something. That's one of the uniqueness of man. Man is also able to swing, or move his forearms. The man is different from standing upright. Man is the only primate, the only ape that can stand upright, completely upright. And man also has the largest skull, filled with the largest brain, and this makes man to be able to think, to plan, and be able to solve different types of problems. So having looked at the classification of organisms, the next topic that we are looking at, or that we shall be looking at, is a habitat. That is, where does organisms live? When we talk about habitat is actually a place of abode. That is the natural place of abode, the natural place where organisms are supposed to live. And when we look at this one, the two main types that we have aquatic as well as terrestrial. Aquatic, that is when water is a place of abode for organisms. And this occurs at a range of scales, that is from microhabitats under a particular law to macro habitat such as pools, rivers, etc. So we have from micro habitat, that is from small ones. We have when we have even on plants, for example, where you have small waters there, and in some places where we have small water, so we have some organisms that are living there as their place of habitat. And in that case, it is microhabitat, but it is still aquatic. As well as that is aquatic, organisms that are found in pools, in lakes, in oceans, rivers, they are macrohabitat. and still referred to as an aquatic habitat. Aquatic habitats could be classified into non-flowing waters, that is waters that are not flowing, such as lakes, ponds, and we have slow flowing water such as marshes, swamps. They flow but at very slow rate, very slow rate. Sometimes when you observe them, you may not be able to see that they are actually flowing. And we have the flowing ones. The flowing ones are the rivers, the streams. And this, when we talk about aquatic habitat, it includes the freshwater, the marine, and the marshes. The freshwater, in its case, is divided into lotic and lentic waters. Lotic waters are the ones that are flowing, while the lentic are the ones that are not flowing. Freshwater generally they contain a low salt concentration. That is, they have low salinity. That means when we say salinity means the salt concentration in water. So that's what we mean by salinity. So fresh water they have low salinity as a result of low salt concentration. Then fresh water is divided into two sections. We have the littoral zone and the benthic zone. So we continue from there in the next lecture.